Breaking news.
Drama! Yes, drama when it comes to Manchester United.
It's all kicking off.
Man United won't break the bank for him. And if Man United won't break the bank for him, they've got other targets.
Exits. Maybe Jadon Sancho could finally be on his way out of Man United. It is Juventus that are at the door trying to look at what a deal is looking like. And of course, as expected, the wages are a problem. Jadon Sancho reportedly does not want to take that pay cut, which is given some issues. But apparently, according to reports, Juventus are offering players for swap deals. Swapsies. When you're young, Pokemon cards, football cards, Pogs. Swapsies, mate. Dusan Vlahovic, Douglas Luiz, Timothy Weah. Beggars can't be choosers. Are any of them an option for Man United? Just to get rid of Jadon Sancho. It's not moving. Chelsea paid $5 million to send this guy back. We have to start getting creative. And we might have to do some swapsies. Who am I looking at out of them three? I'm not going to lie, guys. I like a Douglas Luiz, you know. He's had a difficult time there. Some injuries, questionable injuries as well. Muscle fatigue and that. But I think he can get over that. He's a good player. I need something in that central midfield. Dusan Vlahovic. You get my feel, innit? It feels very 4 years ago. But like I said, beggars can't be choosers. Who should Man United look to entertain for anyone? Or just look for cash and wait. Welcome back to United View. Welcome to Transfer View. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about Gyokeres' Arsenal agreement. Whatever that means, for however long it means it for. That's what we're going to talk about. Because Lequip had some interesting things to say about Victor Gyokeres and Marcus Rashford to Bayern Munich. They're inquiring about deals. So there's loads to get into, Owen. Loads.
Yes, there's loads to get into this morning. We've got already close to 100 likes, 99 likes to be specific. So if you haven't already clicked the like button, we've got close to 600 people watching, which is fantastic. And plenty to get into, as always. And as you can see in the top right-hand corner there, we are just over 150 subscribers away from 196,000 to 100K. Maybe that's a hot chip. Maybe that's a hot chip in the future. Maybe that's a hot chip.
Stop reminding them, man. They know. You said it yesterday.
You know,
they're not going to forget.
Yeah, you never know. But yes, swapsies. And when it comes to the Vlahovic one, there might be something in it, of course, given the fact that we did get a here we go for Juventus for Jonathan David. So they've already got a striker in. Could they be looking to move their star striker out? Certainly their most expensive striker out. So as Flex was alluding to, Sky Sports yesterday, I believe it was the journalist known as Damashev, reported that David Kaboli, they would never get old. David Kaboli is in I tell you what, if he bumps into him as well, like on tour or something like that, I'll be brilliant.
Yeah, you've seen him a load of times as well.
Yeah, I know. David Kaboli is in deep talks with Manchester United regarding Jadon Sancho. Juventus management are also in discussions with Sancho's agents to discuss the contractual economic conditions. Now, as far as where these swaps comes from, it does come from Fabrizio Romano in his regular column or interview, video series, whatever you want to call it, with Gibby Sport. He said, during talks for Jadon Sancho, Juventus have opened the door to a potential swap deal. United have been informed that Douglas Luiz, a.k.a.
Douglas,
Dusan Vlahovic and Tim Weir are available.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean,
shimmy, y'all with a Douglas and a Douglas. Oh,
United have not responded to the request at this stage. Juventus have no problem paying the transfer fee, but are not willing to pay Sancho's full salary. So Taylor's old as time. I'm not going to break into song, but yes, the wages are still a problem. But I suppose, like you said, to open it up to the chat and to open it up to the UV community, if it was a swap, you know, and maybe not even necessarily a swap, they're two separate deals, but they're kind of related. No, not related. Out of those three, Vlahovic,
Douglas,
or Weir, who would you go for? Who would you go for?
I lean more towards.
Oh, there you go.
Douglas. Yeah. I lean more towards that. I do, you know. I do. I'll talk about Vlahovic in a sec. I know we need some surgery in midfield. And I just know, obviously, we all know the funds are going to be a big problem to be able to do it. And listen, when he was at Villa, man, he's a very good central midfielder. He is. He was there for a good few years. He was probably their best player. They didn't want to, at that time, they didn't want to lose him.
It's financial
PSR
reasons, isn't it?
is
Yeah.
financial reasons. And yes, he's obviously gone to Juventus and it hasn't worked out. But I think there's way more in the tank for him in terms of Premier League proven to come back, point to prove, come to Man United as well, be in, sort of like an engine room. I think for a while at Villa, they didn't really know whether he was a 6, 8, you know what I mean? But I think he proved that actually good box to box. Good box to box. I like him. So, Flex be serious, please. It's 2nd July and still no signing apart from Cunha. And you're here joking. You're right, actually. Hold on 1 second.
Flex, this is like Footloose, okay, where dancing was banned and illegal. We're not allowed to laugh.
Yeah. So also, Owen,
you've got to be serious.
Yeah.
You have to be serious.
That's true.
I've been mentioning this recently. People send to me in the comments. No sarcasm, no sound effects, no laughter. Some days no transfers. Some days literally no transfers on the transfer view.
Well, I was going to say I'm going to refrain from I don't even want to talk. I don't want to talk about this anymore, actually.
Yeah,
because he's right. We haven't signed anyone apart from Cunha yet. Yeah. And I just don't want to talk. So I would like a moment of silence, please. I don't want to.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just use this. Yeah. That'll be that's the show this morning.
Yeah. Makes sense. So,
yeah. Kind of sort of a protest of
at least until Mbumo gets here.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So whenever you tune into United View, that would just be.
Yeah,
that would be a here
until further notice. Until we get a here we go or something.
Yeah, until just start the season. To be fair, you know what I mean.
Yeah, just shut it down.
Yeah, it's just not.
No. Also, if we reach 200k, if we haven't had the summer that we've been looking for, that's not happening as well. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, Flex will eat the chip, just no one will see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because committed to that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Can I please have a moment of silence? Yeah, Nas and Quan, exactly.
Yeah.
As day falls tonight.
And whilst out, though, he'll throw away his Kev coins. Coins, he won't be using them. No. I'm
going to dare to read out the super chats if that's okay with the person who said don't.
Wow, I mean, I have to think about it. Let's see how it goes. All right, be careful. Yeah. Just make it just very monotone voice.
Vlahovic is 25.
Mm-hmm.
25.
Yeah.
Take him and Douglas Luiz for Sancho. I wouldn't be mad. This is creative and could work.
Yeah.
We need Sancho gone. And Harry, do your work. Tabres.
Oh, I was going to press the sound effect.
Oh, go on. No, don't do that.
I caught myself for a second. Yeah, I realised.
Shout out Tabs. I only want Douglas if we get his missus too. I mean, Tabres, it's not really. Just keeps the football. It's just not really.
Much.
We just need Douglas to just come and fix the midfield. If anyone's allowed to come in and fix the midfield, we could just keep it as it is if we want.
That sounded a bit too humorous for me, to be honest.
Because we might have too much fun if we get a signing, so it's better to stay like this. To be fair.
No, I just thought Tabres was just I think he's trying to do a bit of humour, which, as we know, is outlawed.
Not allowed
in these parts. Is it in these parts? So we can't.
Fairs.
Yeah.
Well, as of now, those are the super chats we have so far been read out.
So we'll go back to the test screen.
Yeah. Who said that? What's your name again?
Until something else happens.
You Habs, fantasy Premier League. You're living in a fantasy world, mate. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Living in a fantasy world.
I get it. I get it that it's pre-season starts next week in terms of the trading, and everyone's a bit twitchy. Rightfully so. We finished 15th. Things can happen very quickly, though, can't they? And as we've said, like at the end of last season and going into this season, if we do adopt that mentality, then we might as well just give up. we might, you know what I mean? We might as well just give up. I mean, in terms of the Vlahovic one, I do have concern with he is on like a ridiculous wage at Juventus. I was just checking then, £315,000 a week.
Is that
he
what he's on?
Yeah,
Rah.
and he is on over double the second highest earner at Juventus.
So the question is even if we wanted to do swap deals for him, like you said, is he even going to want to take a pay cut? He could be a right pain in the arse. I would. How long has he got left on his deal? Probably a while, isn't it? A couple of years.
How long did he
signed? About 2 years.
Next year.
Oh, so he's only got a year left. He ain't taking a pay cut.
Year left. Yeah. So
Jesus,
that might be that might be a similar situation where it's like, look, you got two guys here. They don't want to take a pay cut. Douglas Luiz, he's their third highest earner. He's on £135,000 a week.
Right.
But it just goes to show the discrepancy between what Vlahovic is on versus what the rest of them are. So yes, that's a big part of why they want to give. And also, I think they've done this a couple of times, haven't they, Juventus, where they've rolled a dice on a big player because they want to do big stuff, and it's not really worked out, and they've had a lot of financial issues over the last sort of 5 or 6 years or so, haven't they? So, like you said, that's a complicated one. The Douglas Luiz one, look, if he came in on a similar wage at United, 135k a week, you'd be one of our not highest earners.
Exactly. Just be in line.
You'd be like, that's great. So, the problem is, and we're going to get to this a bit later with Rashford too, is it just, you do feel like all of those people that, again, we had earmarked to leave in the summer, it's the same problem that it's always been with them, which is they don't want to take a pay cut. To the point now, I saw this on Twitter yesterday, and it is actually really true, is they were sort of saying, like, I don't know if you can rule out with like a Jadon Sancho, if he's so steadfast on, I don't want to take a wage cut because I know that I'm not going to get this anywhere else. Can we even rule out the possibility he just goes, screw it, I'll just see out my contract. I'll see out my contract. Next season, I'll go on a free. I'll get a massive signing on fee and I'll get big wage because all the money goes back into the contract without a transfer fee. Can we rule that out at this point?
I don't think that'll happen. And the reason why I don't think it will happen is I think it's so detrimental for that to happen. I just think all parties find a way for a loan.
But
no, he ain't taking a pay cut. He definitely ain't taking a pay cut.
That's what I mean. But then in terms of the contract,
but he'll go on loan. He'll go on loan somewhere.
You can still see out that contract, couldn't he?
No, he'll see out the contract. But I don't mean I don't think he'll see it out by just sitting in the resis. I think it'll be seen out. If it's not a permanent, I think they'll find a loan. They will find a loan.
And then his contract expires.
Yeah, it'll be a loan, his contract. Yeah, whatever happens, then wages ain't coming down.
That's what. So I think, again...
Unless he gets a permanent and they pay him off.
He's seeing out that contract then, isn't he? That's what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Like, his desire to get what, contractually is owed to him is bigger than his desire to say, play football
I'll go anywhere
completely regularly, just to play and get back in the England team. Like, it's beyond that now.
Yeah, because he's only got a year left. And his age is, again, I don't know. How old Sancho? 25.
Oh,
Sancho's... Yeah, 25. He's 25, yeah. He's just entering into his peak years, even though he's way off his peak because it hasn't worked out. But he's way off his peak, but he's going to his peak years. If you're his agent, I know you can say, well, that's a rubbish agent. I'm just talking about it from a business perspective. I believe that agent will be saying, and they'll be saying, listen, this year might be a bit long. You might have to go another temporary place, but you just get your contract, you leave on the free, and then that's your new start at 26.
I
know what I mean? You're young enough.
From an agent's perspective, because an agent knows if I'm negotiating a free transfer, there are no transfer fees involved. That's all coming to me and you.
Exactly.
They're like, literally.
The agent fees is going to get nice. Exactly.
Yeah.
So they will all be sitting around that table saying, listen, when agents sort of say like they're playing, but they're talking we's, don't we? A group or a team.
Yeah.
We'll sit this one out. Yeah. We'll get you a move. We'll get you somewhere. It's feeling happy. And then if you do well, you can even go to that team, on a free as well. So that's more lucrative or attractive to said team that you might go to on loan this year. Because if you do well, say it was Chelsea, they would have just taken him if it was on a free. Do you know what I mean? Well, actually still had to fit into the wage budget. But but he wouldn't have minded coming down because his contract would have been up. And then he knows he's not going to... That's the whole point of staying on this. You're not going to be able to get another club to give you this.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You see it out. Do you know what I mean? Within reason. If you're really smart or you're really good, you can get both. You can be a top draw. Someone like Mo Salah, you could be top draw. It doesn't matter if you run your contract down. Wherever you go next, obviously that's going to be Saudi. You're going to get bread. You know,
Yeah.
if it's Ronaldo, if it was like look at Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? There's players that you can get both. But for someone like Sancho, your stock's fallen. You're not going to get this money anywhere else, and you've got 1 year left. It's Man United's problem. They gave you this contract. We're not being pushed out just because they want to fix their wage budget. Sorry, my contract, mate. So let's sit. Like the longer we'll negotiate, we will get a loan. You might not like it for a year. You might like it. Who knows? But just sit tight for a year, and we'll be in a great position in summer 26. That's what I'd be advised.
Here's one for you as well. So we're just with this Vlahovic one. Because like I said, he's on £315,000 a week. He's 25 though, because you go, oh, young, still young striker in the prime, ready to go. But his last 3 seasons in Serie A, for the money that he would be on. So he signed with Juventus in 2022, that first season, scored 10 goals in 27 games in Serie A. Next season
9 as well.
Next season, he scored 16 goals in 33 games in Serie A. Last season, he scored 10 goals in 29 games in Serie A.
He's getting double figures every year, but it's not convincing, is it?
Last season, played 9 games in Champions League, scored 4 goals.
You know, at the beginning of the video when I went, Vlahovic feels like, nah.
But then you go into like, but if that's your star striker and he would be on a lot of money, that's when we go back to what we were talking about yesterday with the Ollie Watkins thing. Yeah, Watkins got better numbers than that. Watkins got consistently over 5 seasons in the Premier League. It's got better numbers than that.
Yeah.
So, but this when it goes to, I think, perception, doesn't it? Because if Ollie Watkins was playing for Juventus right now and we didn't see him every week and we just heard of the name, because people, when you hear Vlahovic, people just remember like 2 or 3 seasons ago when he was one of the sought after centre forwards in Europe. They'll be like, yeah, Vlahovic, yes. But then you'll be like, well, have you seen him play for 3 years? No. So, but because we see people like Ollie Watkins every single week and it's Villa instead of Juventus, we go, oh, I don't want him. You know, so I agree with you. I don't think Vlahovic is that option. I don't know. With the Jadon Sancho thing, this is the only, I suppose, disappointing part of it is they're being met with the reality of how difficult it is to move on these players like Sancho, like Rashford, like even Garnacho. And you sort of go, well, you must have known this for like 6 months, 9 months. This was going to be hard, you know. How is this sort of snuck up on you?
Well, has it snuck up or is it just the reality of the situation?
Maybe they've always
known. Do you know what I mean? Because we've known. But just because we know, that doesn't mean that the other clubs are going to make it easier for us. If you want to sell something, you need buyers. It doesn't matter how creative you are, unless you're in a position, which clearly financially we are not, to rip up all their contracts to say, my God, let's just say goodbye to all of them, make them all free agents, and then we can start again. Obviously, we can't do that. So if you think about it, the sins of the past it's going to be difficult to solve. It's not, you can't, just because we've known about it, it doesn't make the action any easier to take, I don't think. Like, yes, you can sound out things and get ahead of the curve of like, try to offer them out and have conversations and speak to this club or that club. But the fact of the matter is you've got something you want to sell that is overpriced. You're struggling, mate. If I've got a banged up Corsa, yeah, that I need to sell because I don't know, when I bought it, the finance, I'm still paying it. I want to get out of this deal. And they've massively dropped in price, but I'm still paying, I don't know, £700 a month for this finance. But these cars no one's buying no one wants that. Shout out to anyone who's got Corsa, by the way. But nobody wants this particular car. And I'm going, all right, when I get into the time when I'm allowed to sell, let's just, for example, just making it transferable in the summer, you know, I want to sell this car. But I know that still nobody wants to buy it. Yeah. The market's not there for that particular thing.
Or, there's like a 1-bed flat and you go, look, this area is about to be done up soon. This area's going to be done up soon and it's going to be one of the most like hustling and bustling places in the city. It's going to be like the new place to get. You know, everyone's going to be here and loads of houses are going to go up, but I'm going to get in there first. Might have to pay a little bit more, But, oh, yeah. 3 or 4 years later, none of that happened. If it's worse. The area is worse, and you go, I'll try and make back what I did. And everyone's like, Mum, what'd you do that for? I can't give you that.
But yeah.
Why would I buy that? It's one bed flat in a shithole. Like, what are you talking about? You go, I took a gamble. I took a gamble. And that's the situation that we find ourselves in.
Yeah. And then you start talking about insurance jobs. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone just said, nobody wants it, then write it off, find the first poll. Yeah. Well, that's what you in football, this is what you try and talk about. Can we do an insurance job on this?
Yeah.
How did you do that in football terms?
Yeah. Just anything. He's like, oh my God. Or just going, well, what if, like, maybe let's just swap sort of houses.
Yeah. You live there.
You live here. I'll live here. You need to leave. You've pissed off the neighbours. They're evicting you or whatever. But you need somewhere quick. I can go live there. You live here. Okay, we figure something out.
My tenancy agreement's up.
Yeah,
and then I can leave. I can leave on a free. I've got this. I've signed up to have this place with this landlord for 3 years. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Something. Or I own the place. I can't sell it, but you need somewhere, so you can just pay me a little bit. It's not even that much rent, but as long as I get something, I'm making something.
And you can pay me. You can pay me back to move out.
Yeah, exactly. You go. I've got to get out of
this. It's so shit. I'll give you 500 quid, man. I need to leave, and I'm still stuck with the house.
Yeah.
So listen, man. I just think actually, this is what I mean. Where we have to be careful about, like, just losing our shit. I challenge any one of you without going easy. I'll just tell him never to come back to work again, and you're not playing for Man United again. Without being silly, I challenge every one of you to be able to be in that hot seat, going to other clubs, convincing them that's a good reason. It's a good decision to take Jadon Sancho on these type of wages. You'll be good. This is what you got to do. Or to convince Jadon Sancho that he should drop his wages. I'd challenge any one of you to do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like we're seeing in the reports as well. No problem paying 25 million. People want to pay that. But the wages. Same with Rashford. 40 million. Bargain. It should, like, for Rashford in this day and age, go, I'll tell you what, but he's on 300 something grand a week. So as soon as the player says, not dropping my wages, mate. What do you want other clubs to do? Be as stupid as us. You want to convince them to be as stupid as us. So all these people saying they didn't, you didn't get. And when you just brought it up as a question, sort of, were they not prepared for it? I thought about it. It goes, you could be prepared all you want. You're prepared to know that people aren't as stupid as you. And when you get there, it's going to be tough. So I don't know, man. It just takes you. It's back to that initiation phase, isn't it? Like I said, with the Anthony thing, with the Malacia thing, with the whoever it is, you got to get them out on loan and just start it from there. And it still might end up in multiple loans and leaving on a free. You just have to make it known to them that there's nothing for you here, and hope that they go, this is just long. I just need to find some stability.
Yeah, and also look, and I know this is never what fans want to hear. But when our clubs, you hear about United remain calm, or a lot of the players involved remain calm, probably because they'll go, look, it's the 2nd of July. Window shuts in, 2nd of September. They'll be like, it's 2 months. We've got ages. 100%. And we don't want to hear that because we want everything to be done by next week or by tour and whatever. And it should, and particularly because of the amount of work we need done. Of course, we're like, the people need to be through the door. This isn't like a cop-out to say, it doesn't matter, because of course it matters. But that's why the people involved, because I was saying this one of the other days on one of the morning shows when you weren't here, Flex, I said, and we've had this conversation quite a bit, the difference in realities between what a fan thinks and how a fan experiences things is totally different to the players. The things we care about, players and agents they don't care about. So of us, we're like, this needs to be done before the start of pre-season, and this needs to be done before the tour, and we need to blah, blah, blah. Some players will be like, just as long as I get my move, I don't care.
They don't care. They don't care.
And they'll go, what if the season started? Well, if that's what it takes and it's just end of the window, but I get to, like Rashford, if I get to play for Barcelona, I don't care. Cool. And they go,
it's all about July the bag 2nd, and the contract, guys.
They won't care. That's why they'll be relaxed.
Fan thing, 100%. This fan thing, and this is what's hard. We have to take our heads out of that cloud. We have to. We care about Man United more than anything, because that's what we stand for. That's our club. Regardless of any player that comes or goes, for however how long, for however how good, bad, or indifferent they do at the club, we will be here. Yeah? Through the awful times like now and the great times that we've all had as United fans. But players just don't see it this way. and only a few of them do. You're lucky if you get maybe someone like Bruno who goes, I don't care about that money, man. I just want to stay here. I love it here. You know what I mean? You get someone like Ryan Giggs, or you get someone like Paul Scholes. These types of guys. Anyway, you get my point. We as fans need to wake up sometimes because we just get too emotional. And I always say we because I'm in it. I'm not trying to separate myself from the community. I'm saying we, right? We forget that football is a job for these guys. And it's about securing the bag. It's about securing the contract. Sometimes it's about being greedy for them. Sometimes it's not even, the football's not even the most primary factor. We can say, how bad is that? You're in the top 1% to even, some don't even like, ask Ben White, don't even watch football. And for us, we can't fathom. Do you know what I would give to be able to be a professional footballer? Even now at 37 years of age, if you told me, I don't know, Flex, you could go be a Premier League football for a year, but you'd have to do something. Fucking eat 10 of these. Honestly,
yeah.
Like, I'll do mad stuff if you could, just 1 year for free. I'll do, just, you know what I mean? But that's it. They've achieved their dream, but once they're in it, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you off experience of speaking to players, real life players. Yeah, I don't do the whole thing of go to the internet and say, I had a chat with this player, and I don't mean Man United player. I'm talking about just players that
in the game,
yeah. Current guys. I'm talking current right now. Had conversations, still do, and past players. And when you have those type of conversations, honestly, you just go, rah. You know what? There's me just driving up the M6 every week, thinking like, God, win today. Oh my God, like please, like. And then driving back after we lost, I just can't believe this. Like, what am I going to do for the rest of the week? How am I going to take this? And when you see the perspective of them, and I'm not saying they don't care about us or they don't care about the game, but I'm just saying when it comes down to you have to negotiate your paycheck, your bag, it's different. It's very, very different.
Or thinking, our future July, it's going to be done by this date in July. Some people, but there's some people, if their agent tells them, I can get you a move here, it's going to take a while though. And we might have to chance it that we do it in 24 hours to sort of force some clubs into doing this and that. And they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
That's
and also don't think about it from the other side of it as well. I've just done the whole player side. What the players also show me is that don't think these clubs ain't ruthless, mate. Don't think they don't treat you like shit as well. Like when it comes down to it. Do you know what I mean? I know in the case of this, Man United have just given out too much money and too much. They've been very generous, been very stupid. But also, look at that 100. Look at 100%. Look at how David De Gea left. Do you think he feels respected? Do you think he feels like he got treated rightly after a decade at the football club?
We still don't know what happened with that.
There's still don't know what happened. He'll probably write a book one day. Do you know what I mean? And he'll say exactly what happened or when he retires or something. Do you know what I mean? Do you think Yap Stam feels great about what happened at Man United, how he left? No. Like, stuff happens.
I saw a story with Lukaku yesterday. With Chelsea, he was like, after he was on loan at Inter and he was in the Champions League final, he went, I came back, he went, I want to play, I'm ready to actually have a go in the first team. And they put him in the reserves and then put out to the media that I want to leave. He went, I never said that.
Never said to him leave. And obviously, I saw the comments to that was just like, bro's still talking. And he said a wicked quote. He said, if in England, if you don't walk the way they want you to walk, if you don't walk like this straight like that, you've had it. And it's true. Like, there's a certain level of that. So, yeah, man. Shout out to Black Red as well. It says, you YouTube channels are the problem because you put too much emotions in it, hyping up crap players after one game. Terrible influence on the fan base. But I'd say viewers like you are the problem because you sit and you're engaging.
And also as well, I saw this one yesterday being like, I thought it was the Black Red said, this is a sorry state of how fan channels have become. And that was yesterday. And apparently so terrible, they want to come back again.
What are you doing there every day? If we're such a terrible influence on the fan base, why are you here at 9:30 in the morning watching?
Again.
What are you watching? Again. Why are you allowing us to influence you further, bro? What are you doing here? If the influencer, do you like being negatively influenced?
Yeah, make your own.
You enjoy it then?
Yeah, you've got an account. Go make one. That's what the platform's for.
Oh man, I love this. I love this. Like, I love it all. I love it. But what was we even talking about? Oh yeah, the fact that the players don't give a shit. Like, just be careful, man. And, like I say, we're all emotional as fans. I never detach myself from that. It's part of being a football fan. But I just think you have to train yourself. Maybe it's out of experience. You got to train yourself to have a threshold to where you don't go beyond. Because once you go beyond it, you're not gonna win. You're gonna be constantly miserable, or constantly like, why this, why that. You have to see
also,
it from all the views.
This is the other part of it when it comes to the players, and I suppose this is to sort of defend them to an extent, because I can speak from experience. I've been through it. As you're going through football, going through the academies and going for whatever, I mean, it is absolutely, pardon my language, fucking ruthless. And you're almost calloused to not get attached to clubs, because they will chew you up and they will spit you out, because you're almost like told to care, told not to care. Because if you're really attached to some club and you're gone through the academy or whatever, I know so many people that have turned 16. They're like, oh, am I going to get like a scholar for 2 years? Am I going to become, pro, blah, blah, blah? No. And then nothing. And if they're like, oh my God, what do I do? I've only ever thought I was going to become a footballer. And then you've got to go find another club. And they'll just say, find another club, whatever. And at that point, all you've known is playing football for your whole life. And you're a kid. You're not even really almost emotionally mature enough to deal with that kind of like rejection for something that you love. So I get it. When these football players get older, they've been in it by that point for 20 odd years. Sometimes being told you shit, you're rubbish. Sometimes by your own fans, you shit, you're rubbish. I'd be very bitter too. I would. I'd be like, right, this is work now. You know what I mean? It's passion, but it's also work at the same time. It's a business, all sides of it. It's ruthless from the club side, because they'll look at the player as a number, and they'll look at it as, just a commodity of, are they going to make us money? Are they going to win things? Or are they dead weight and are they wasting resource? If they are, get rid. And from the other side of it, the players be like, that club doesn't care about me because I am just a number. So I've got to think, I've got to protect myself. I've got to protect myself. I've got to protect my family. That's it. And that's
simple as that.
Again, it is ruthless.
It's ruthless.
Absolutely
it is.
Ruthless.
And that's like, we're thinking of like you say, the top level of the game. So like, even though you can say Sancho's rubbish, or this is elite, this is like big players, big, superstars, if you want to call them that. Okay, Sancho's not, you could say he's not a superstar now, but like, you get my drift, yeah. These are like big brand players on big money. You ask like academy, like I was saying, you ask academy players who, made one appearance for us, or a couple of appearances, and then get let go, and then they find themselves in League One, Champ, League Two, trying to do what they need to do. I tell you who's a good person, Dimitri Mitchell. Shout out Dimitri. He's doing a lot of good stuff now. He's talking a lot about that side of the game.
I saw something was it yesterday? I think he just secured a deal and he doesn't have an agent. He said he
didn't use an agent, and he said, he was. Do you know, I'm going to get him on. I've been talking to him for a little bit. Actually, he's been wanting to come on for a while. Actually, I'm going to get Dimitri on to talk about literally this side of the game. He was, what was that? Was it 2016? Was it 2017, 18? I think 17, 18. What was the year when we had the navy blue kit with the gold trim?
Yeah, because I saw him talking about training with Zlatan or something like that. So
he's with Pogba, Mata, Zlatan.
Yeah.
He was on tour. I remember that tour when he was on that tour. He got quite a bit of game time, And he made one appearance, like senior. But like, he's talking a lot now about like the difficulties of what that looks like getting released. Look at Axel Tuan's AB the other day. Fosu Mensah did an interview with Simon Peach. That was really good. He's been plagued with injuries ever since. But, I just think we just need to get those extra perspectives. But like I said, I'll work on it. I'll get Dimitri on, definitely. He's a good guy, man. My guy. Right. Super chats. It was off tab as when we had that first two. Terence says, did anyone check if Odemwingie is still in a parking lot somewhere waiting for a contract? Serious flex. Kind of sounds like Lurch from Adam's Family. Yeah. Byron says, imagine Sancho goes for 25 million. Douglas comes in with a loan plus option to buy. That would be great. Oh gosh, that would be. I mean, that's just too perfect. That would be just amazing. Yeah, loan with an option. That would be good if we get him on loan.
Scores a goal. First celebration is the shimmy, like he did at Villa.
All will be forgiven. It is. All will be forgotten. All will be forgiven. Yeah. Sorry. And we still went on to win that game as well. So that's the whole reason I did that. But actually, even just a loan for loan, just a straight swap, isn't it?
Something, yeah.
Just
Players,
then you let
we
Sancho
want
go.
players through the door, don't we?
Yeah,
We just need new.
exactly.
We need something new,
Just need
different.
new.
You know?
And Douglas Luiz, if you're saying, I tell you, all right, we'll give you Sancho, you pay for what of his wages, we work it out, we'll pay a certain amount of Douglas's wages, just send him here for a year, we'll see how it goes, and we'll reconvene next summer.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Because, reconvene next summer means Sancho will just walk free. Obviously, I want some money for Sancho, though. That's the problem. If we can get like 20 million, great, 25 million. But if it means we can't and we've got to do loans, I'll take it. Mav says, sell him £1. Sell him for £1. Fee goes to wages and get him gone.
Well, they did say, Juventus, didn't they, that they didn't have a problem with the transfer fee, it was the wages. So I suppose United could say, well, would you rather just put all the transfer fee on the wages then? And then what's left over, you can give it us. Let's talk.
That's why we'll sell him to you for 2 million or 1 million. Some shit.
Yeah.
D Witness says, morning, gents. Still waiting for Mbeumo, but I got Here We Go on holiday last week. Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Verbal agreement in place. Contracts been drawn up. The player has told all suitors she loves the club.
Loves the club. Congratulations.
Congratulations. To D Witness on your engagement. Well done.
Yeah.
Official confirmation. Here we go.
Official confirmation.
Exclusive. Sirens in the chat. D Witness bomber. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations.
Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There's a here we go. Congratulations to you and the missus, bro. Big up to you. Big up to you. I love that. What a nice story. What a nice super chat. What I don't love is that we've got 430 likes and we've got over 1,600 people watching.
I'm happy with it. I don't love it, but it's a good start. It's a good base point. But there could be more. There could be
especially as we're about to talk about Victor Gyokeres. So
yes. Well, the latest developments in the Victor Gyokeres saga, Fleck, is that he could be wearing that kit, yes. L'Equipe, big French-based outlet, saying that Arsenal are now advancing on a verbal agreement with Victor Gyokeres. The deal is advancing, which is interesting because the whole Šeško stuff has gone quite quiet with Arsenal after he followed them last week. and still, I see Fabrizio Bay still saying the same thing with Gyokeres, which is, hey, look, he hasn't rejected United. He hasn't rejected United. He just, priority to Arsenal, but now there's a verbal agreement in place. This, I mean, and this, I think, is where the fatigue comes from, isn't it? There is fatigue of one way or the other. Can we just know if we're going to get them or not? Because if let's say he goes to Arsenal, then I'd just rather know. You know what I mean? Goes Arsenal, we're like, right, that's off the table. And then we go, right, okay, we need to find someone else. Maybe it is Watkins. Maybe we try and get Šeško. I don't know. But this whole limbo of, is he going to go to Arsenal? Well, he's actually still kind of falling out with Sporting. It is tiresome, isn't it? It is.
Very tiresome. And I think I've said quite a while, which maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here from saying that, because basically I've condemned myself to any time there's these rumours about Gyokeres, I'm not really going to have too much emotion either way, because I literally said, until there's a bid gone in from a club for him, I'm just not getting into these, you know what I mean? He's agreed this, or his preference is this, or actually now he would want to come to United, because it's all gymnastics, man. It's all mental gymnastics. There's so much being reported out there that I just don't know. I don't believe half of it in terms of that. So unless it's Ornstein that says Victor Gyokeres has given the green light to Man United, or Victor Gyokeres has something like that. Like L'Equipe,
a lot of false dawns, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of false dawns. Where do you know what? It probably only would be Ornstein. Ornstein is the only one that could make me come back to the table with sort of his preference, not a bid, or just he's made it clear. You see when he said he's made it clear. Obviously, everyone was saying it, but Ornstein was Bremer's made it clear to Spurs and everyone he wants to go to Man United. I know Ben Jacobs was saying that. I know Fabrizio, that is the consensus. When Ornstein says it at the minute, you just know that is what is the situation.
And now is the problem with that one, wasn't it? Is that because we've known since day one, before we even officially were talking to Brentford, we knew that he wanted United, and Ornstein had said it. It kind of made this Mbeumo one feel even longer, didn't it? Because usually you wouldn't really hear that part of it. It would just be when the first bid goes in that you get, okay, right, now things are going. But because from day one we heard he only wants Man United, club-to-club contacts haven't taken place yet, but he only wants United. then that meant we had to sort of live through all the rest of the process, knowing that he's only going to go to United. He's not going to go anywhere else. Back and forth, and that's taken a month. Like, this is where I do sympathise with people when they go, well, I'd rather not know that bit at the start. I would rather just be told at the end when it's done. Okay, cool. But when you get because we literally got it's right. It started now, and like you said, not even the bid, not even like a bid, just the process has started today. And when we had to and that's led to everyone to go, okay, first bid's going to be coming in tomorrow, day after next. Okay, that's been in. They're thinking about it. Are they going back? That one's been rejected. Second bid's going in. Oh, it's not gone in yet, actually. They're thinking about it. Second one's gone in now. Yes, medical next week. It's not going to be next week. It's been rejected. Well, it's not been rejected, but it's more like its initial bits kind of agreed. It's just the add-ons. So you get how do you not get fatigued with that? Ornstein hasn't done that. Has he? He's just gone literally. Yeah, he's told everyone he wants to go to United, and there's the next one on that will be a bid's got in. It's agreed. He'll have a medical next week. That's it. That's what we'll say.
Yeah, exactly. So he just speaks when there's no engagement farming. It's just straight to the point. Here is the news.
He don't get paid by the words. News. Definitely not.
No,
he's not. I don't think he's one of those ones where it's like, well, you got to get so many words in your article. But I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not on none of that. He's not on none of that. Yeah. So I don't know. I just think for me, Gyokeres. I mean, look, if he does go to Arsenal, if we're just speaking loosely, because I don't just want to just be like, I don't care. I'm not talking about that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that miserable. But if he does go to Arsenal, I do think that obviously it's more like what do we do then? Like, because Gyokeres is still there's like a faint hope that like if Arsenal choose Sesko, it leaves him with something he has to find a new club.
He's not going Sporting, so he's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, so it's like then because like I said, even the Ollie Watkins thing, people were misunderstanding that, and we're hearing Vlahovic. My preference, absolutely, is if we can get Victor Gyokeres, number one. Well, number one's Osimhen, but that's just not even being discussed. It's just not realistic, is it? So Gyokeres is my number one target. If we can get him, we should be doing everything we can. Everything we can. And if that means waiting, yes, he's that good. You have to wait. So I kind of want Arsenal to just hurry up and decide so we can know.
Yeah, because if the Šeško's thing done, then why would they go for Gyokeres? I mean, they still could, theoretically, I suppose, and everyone would be like, holy shit, they've got some firepower now, and maybe that's the difference. But yeah, you're right. We're still waiting for a domino to fall in regards to all of that. It feels like at this moment that we're still just really across the window. Those sort of dominoes are right. Okay, this happens. Right, that happens. Therefore, this can happen. None of that's happened yet. None of that's really sort of happened for a lot of them. Well, like sometimes when you're negotiating with a club and they just go buy someone, you go, well, that seems quite replacement-ish. So that means we're going to get that player. Some of those things just hasn't happened yet, which again is worrying. And we're also now in this period where we're just like, next week's the start of pre-season. And so whenever there's like a deadline that we've put in our heads, then we start to panic. I do it myself as well. When you go, right, next Monday we're back. Next Monday we're back. We need players, and then the next one will be we've got Leeds. We've got Leeds on the 19th. They need to be this one, and then it'll be like they're flying out on this day. You know what I mean? So when these deadlines,
you set up them deadlines in your head.
You start going, oh my god, and then I suppose also what doesn't help is because this Club World Cup's going on too, we're constantly seeing these teams. That are going to be our rivals play well and also buy players. So like Chelsea at the moment, they're buying players and they're going to join them in the Club World Cup where they might go and win it. And you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Or Liverpool, because they've got all this money left over because they didn't spend anything and they had a really successful season. They're spending. City, because, that's Pep's response to any kind of adversity is I'm going to spend a shit ton of money. They were like, oh my God. And they're still losing games. So I get it. And then on top of that, it's not as if we had a successful season last season. We were rubbish. So
we're not operating from a position of strength at all.
No. So we're like, we need players. So
that's why I get annoyed when we try and compare ourselves to people who are in a position of strength. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we're not.
I don't get it.
I'd get it if we'd sold 3 or 4 players. We'd be like, 100%. Right, because we need to be spending this money now. But maybe that's a disappointing thing. Again, we elevate our expectations that for some reason this summer it was going to be different of the things that we've struggled to do in the past, which is moving players on. We've still just until like that, and this is maybe again what people don't want to hear, but until you've had like a 4 or 5 year cycle of bringing players in not on big contracts, it's always going to be difficult to sell these players. Like until like people like Casemiro's on big contract, it's going to be impossible to sell him. The Saudi thing came up again, didn't it? It does every fucking window. So he's going to Saudi, and then it's like, no, he's not. Rashford, we're like, oh, yeah, could be a loan. And Sancho could be. It's just, and that's why it's boring, because it's the same old stuff, and that won't end until their contracts run out. That'll be it. I suppose maybe the disappointing ones, people like Garnacho will be oh, he's not on a big wage, that'll be easy, and then it's just gone radio silent now. It feels like no one's interested.
But I don't know. I just think, I honestly think he's easy to sell. I think, I know, like you say, well, he's still here, so why is he not gone yet? I just think it's just clubs that you can't. Outgoings is a lot harder because you can't tell someone else what to do. Well, even when you're trying to buy, I suppose you can't tell. You can't say, make 100%, give me this price because I say so. But especially with outgoings where you want someone gone by a certain time. So you're asking somebody to come and take somebody by when you want them to. That's difficult. Do you know what I mean? Because loads of other people are doing their budgets. Loads of other people are sorting out what they're doing. And it just doesn't transpire like that unless you've got someone that's so good that everybody just wants them. It just happens like that. That's just what happens.
And also, we're very rarely in a position where like clubs are pursuing our players. It's always the position. Are harder. Yeah. We're always in the position where we're trying to get rid of them. It's not like people are coming out of. It's not like the way that we're pursuing Brian Mbeumo, where we're like, oh, we want to get him, blah blah blah. And Mbeumo's like, yeah, I want to go, and Brentford like, yeah, but you're one of our better players. We want to keep you. That doesn't happen that much. I mean, it happened with Bruno. That deal could have been done quickly. It got resolved very quickly because they were a very willing club and they could have spent the money. We're trying to get rid of these players. There's a difference between someone trying to come and buy our players and us trying to get rid of these players. We're trying to get rid of some of these players. And
ones that ain't been good, so the other teams go, well, there are loads of wages. And they're like, shit since they've gone to you.
Yeah, and they're like, well, we'll take him, but it's not as if they're coming into us going like, oh, we'll give you anything. We're having to negotiate to get rid. Going, so what would it take for you to buy this player from us, as opposed to what would it take for you to sell him to us? We're like, well, what would you want? How would you take him?
We said to Chelsea, well, what it would take is, I tell you what, even if you don't like it, give us £5 million, you give him back. Yeah, that's how desperate we were. You know what I mean? Like you're saying there, Owen, that question, well, what's it going to take?
Yeah.
Well, if you try before you buy, obviously that's a loan anyway. But on top of that, if it don't work out, just give us a small little thing. You can send him back. And you've got an obligation. So I'm going to give you an obligation, but I'm also going to give you a way out.
Or if you're like, again, if you're like an Aston Villa, like they'll go, oh, like say with like the Rashford one, oh, would you like Marcus Rashford to stay? Yeah, but he didn't want to stay. so well, like I said, and you can. It's like a game of chicken until the end of the window, because they can be the only thing that sometimes these players, clubs rather, have got of leverage is to say like, well, we're not going to register you in the squad, and you're not going to play until January. So you're going to be screwed. And then some people might be like, I don't care. Some people are like, I don't care. Look at the Chelsea thing with like Sterling, left him out. Thing, he's still going to be like, I'm still.
Find me somewhere.
100%. And someone's going to pick that up. Yeah, 100%. And they banished him. They told him we're not going to register you in the squad. Arsenal picked up the loan. Happened at the very end of the window. And that's why a lot of that stuff will still happen again. Because they'll be playing that game of chicken. Either like, right, well, we're not going to register you. Okay, I'll just get my wage. Yeah, we're definitely not going to register you. All right, cool. Then it gets to the end of the last window. Then Chelsea start going, we've got to find someone to subsidise the wage a little bit. It's a game of chicken. And
then other teams come in and go, there's an opportunity there. There's only 3 days left. He's got to get out.
We couldn't get those targets, actually. Let's go get Sterling. Why not? Let's just do it for a loan till January or something, So that's when it goes back to, like we said, we don't want to hear it. But loads of these agents and players would be like, there are 2 months to go to the end of the window. I'm very calm.
And they know that Man United as well need so much.
Yeah.
As well. So if you're an agent of a player where Man United is interested, of course, yes, some might say, listen, get in there, get yourself ready for pre-season, do this, do that. Or you say, listen, I need to get your contract up. I need to, if I just get wages and, get the best signing on fee and all that stuff. Just wait, let them get on tour first. Let the need for you go up a little bit more. Let them get a bit frustrated. It's all games. It's all games. I saw yesterday, I don't know if people have seen this clip, people cussing Troy or whatever, but this is the fact. I know it is. Again, I spoke to him. He was talking about the time when Leicester just won the league and they wanted to buy him from Watford.
Yeah, I remember reading about that at the time, yeah.
And he basically negotiated a new deal at Watford for like 120 grand a week. People can go, what? They didn't pay him that little Watford. Yes, they did. Okay.
They did, yeah.
Yes, they did. Fact. Yeah. And he was talking about how his agent was like, listen, the things that they did, he goes, right, you're going to go in there and you're going to like pack up all your stuff. What? Yeah, just pack up and start putting in the boots, start fucking clearing out your shit. What? Make them think you're leaving. That's what we're going to do. And he goes, when we're walking in, he goes, don't turn because they're looking out the window. Start throwing your arms up, start thinking. All of this is all an act. Now, you can look at that and say, oh, that's disgraceful. Oh, look what the club's done for Troy. Oh, look at this. Listen, but it goes back the other way. Look what he's done for them. Do you know what I'm saying? And also, it's business. Then he was like, yeah, I'll add more things. Want a box? Right, pretend you need a box. And the joke was that he was saying, like, I want them speed bumps. I had a Lamborghini at the time. I want them speed bumps taken off the road in the train. Obviously, they're still there now. But what happens is please don't go to Leicester. Please don't do this. And I'm not saying we're in that position, but there's still players that will look at, and agents, that's their job, to look at the opportunity that's that United, that they're desperate for players. They just finished 15th. You're not going to go straight away. Clubs that are selling to Man United, they've got director of footballs. They've got people who are in charge of their transfers. It's their job to look at Man United and go, well, what best do I do for my organisation? They really want Brian and Brumo. Yes, Brian wants to go there, but they badly need him. That's their number one target. They finished 15th. They need him. I'm waiting. I'm getting every bit.
He's our best player. We've just lost our manager. We just lost our captain.
We might be favourites to go down next year.
Yeah.
Or one-off. Or four favourites after the 3 coming up.
Let's make a lot of money. We might need it.
Exactly. So, I don't know, man. We just need to just get a little bit sensible with how we look at things. But it's not always easy, I understand. Joe Fleming says, Tier 1 James says they'll pay up they'll pay up contract out of fee. Right, okay. Hopefully. VK says, been a hot minute since I caught a live show. Big up Flex, Owen and all watching. Wishing all well in your personal lives.
You were just saying about VK yesterday, weren't you?
I was literally saying that, yesterday. I was like, I haven't seen VK in ages. And he's right there. Big up to you, bro. Good to hear from you. Joe Fleming says, if Juve pay up his final year, I'd take Vlahovic, me. Fair play. Okay, interesting. And Joe also says, Flex, would you not bring through Kone as your 6? Well, I've seen a lot of reports saying that I think it's Lucerne are trying to take him on loan. Luzerne, is that how you say it? They're trying to take him on loan. I don't know. I want to have a look at him in pre-season with the. I really look forward to this pre-season actually for that reason anyway. Mm-hmm. Maybe not for others because what new players we're going to get, but for the youngsters, Diego Leon. Oh, I want to talk about that quickly.
Oh yeah,
not now. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But Kone, I mean, it looks like it's going to be beyond him to be playing for us consistently next year. I think it looks like they want to get him some men's football experience. So I don't know. We'll have to see on tour, but let's wait and see. Aki says, guys, we won't get Champions League for the next 5 seasons. Reality. Wow. Rashford to Bayern. Let's do this actually because time's running out. Actually,
yes. So Rashford could be on his way to Bayern, according to Bild in Germany. Bayern are considering a move for Marcus Rashford after being impressed by his displays at Aston Villa. Manchester United are open to selling for £40 million. Rob Dawson saying this morning that Marcus Rashford has not yet shown any willingness to accept a pay cut. Of course, he's on, £300,000 a week, something like that. Bayern have asked for terms of a deal. And this, of course, comes after Bayern this morning did have a bid rejected for Luis Diaz from Liverpool. So they're definitely in the market for
and I think that one's interesting. I saw Ben Jacobs said that Liverpool basically said to Bayern, we don't even want to negotiate. Diaz is not for sale. They are scouring the market for a left winger. Of course, the Nico Williams situation, they would have preferred him to go there, Bilbao. But, it's Barca are trying to do it. I mean, Rashi to Bayern would make sense, wouldn't it?
Could work.
Yeah, that could work. That could work. And they're also big enough for him to be like,
Yeah.
I'm at Bayern,
I'm at Bayern.
Champions League,
Yeah.
I'm going to win the league, you know.
Yeah.
Playing with Harry Kane, playing with loads of great players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they pay silly money for people on their contracts.
Yeah.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, they can pay money, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd
watch that
it'd
one.
be right there.
I'd watch that one.
Yeah, I think that's got legs. I think that's
Yeah.
got legs. If the Bayern thing can't happen, if they get Nico Williams and can't make it happen, then I think that Rashford one could definitely happen. Right, peeps. Thanks for staying locked in. Big up to each and every single one of you, man. Smash a like on the way out. Where did we get to? We got to 579 likes. Not bad.
579. Get over the line.
Bingo. Lee Judge's bingo cards. The judge bingo cards. But yeah, we'll be back. If there's anything breaking, I will be calling Mr. KG Comedian shortly because I just need to confirm some stuff. But I do believe there could be a show later on. But because that's what he said. But I have messaged and haven't responded. I haven't got a response back, so I will call. So yes, big up to all of you, man. There'll be a video on Football Flex as well, so check that out shortly as well. We are out of here. Take care. Peace.